Okay, we'll wait just a few more minutes and then we'll start.
Start at 2:30 sharp.
Sure. Eu consigo outra coisa. Faz parte.
It's good to see you again. Pleasure to see you here. Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever happens.
In the resume, you say, we bend, but don't break.
Yeah. Because we are engineers.
For sure.
Sure, also well. Even smarter than us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have you ever today?
Around Friday.
Oh, yeah, because you have to do a lot of places, don't you? I see. Oh, yeah. But you're here. I hope so. It's summer.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The last one. We'll start 1 minute earlier than expected. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the INVENTHEI final conference. My name is Clara Pinho. I'm a project manager at Innova Plus and part of the INVENTHEI team, and I'm very honored to be here as a moderator today. So for today's conference, we have an exciting lineup of sessions, presentations, and finals designed to inspire and ignite your passion for entrepreneurship and innovation. To officially open this conference, please join me in welcoming Professor Gil, the INVENTHEI project coordinator, who will share some words about the event and also the agenda for this conference.
So first of all, welcome to Porto, welcome to sunny Porto, because now it's really sunny, not as it was in the morning. And as Clara said, so we are bootstrapping our final conference for the Deep INVENTHEI. And as you can see from the title, Cultivating Tomorrow's Innovators, this is really our main goal. How to create the context, the environment, and the setting where the innovators of tomorrow can be taught, can be nurtured. That's what we do inside the universities. But to do that, we need to create this culture. And it's not only about the students, it's also about ourselves, the faculty and the staff. We also need to have this change in our culture. And this is what we will be discussing in the next 1.5 days. So starting today, we will have a keynote from our colleague from the Pontificia Catholic University of Rio de Janeiro. And she will be telling us about how they implement and how they create this environment to teach their students in innovation and entrepreneurship. And this will be a way to start the conference, to understand how they are dealing with this in the other side of the Atlantic. And then we will have a panel that I will have the pleasure to moderate, where we will be talking about this, this journey. But it's not only the journey of the students, it's also the journey of faculty and staff and researchers. How can we implement these journeys to create this culture of innovation and entrepreneurship? And that's what we will be doing in the afternoon. Not only having this panel discussion, but we will also organize an activity where each one of us will be able to chip in, to give their own opinion, their own perspective on how to create this environment. That's the goal for today. So, and tomorrow we will have additional activities, different panels where different topics will be brought, and we will also have the opportunity to listen to some of the startups that were involved in our Deep INVENTHEI program, supported by the program, and they will be coming to the conference to present their company and their activities. So this will be a safe environment that they will use to test their pitch and to present their ideas on their company and their products. It will be, I think it will be a very demanding 1.5 days, so we will have several ongoing activities. We know that all of you will be very much involved. Tomorrow we will have new colleagues joining, but for today, the main idea is that we, as the Deep INVENTHEI Consortia, take the opportunity of this new place here at the School of Economics to discuss these topics and try to generate yet another outcome of the project, the innovation and entrepreneurship learning journey. And that's it. So I invite you to join, to be enthusiastic about the discussions, And together, I think we can build a culture where cultivating the tomorrow innovators will be easier. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gil, for these words. And now, to explain exactly where we are, I would like to invite Professor Nuno Moutinho, an assistant professor here at the Faculty of Economics, to tell you a bit more about the FEP Innovation Hub.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for being here. This is our first classroom of what we call the FEP Innovation Hub. So our idea is to have some spaces that we call creative spaces because you can use it in different ways, and also is our intention to bring technology into those spaces and have like a mixture of technology and furniture. And most what we want is, of course, for our students and for anyone that wants to use the space, they can use it in different ways for different purpose and foster innovation. That's the main goal. So what we really want is that our students to be prepared for a world that is continuously changing, evolving, and where technology has an important role. So it's quite interesting that now we have two big events going on. This is not the biggest, but it's the best for sure. The Deep INVENTHEI conference. But if you look outside, you have this big tent over there where we are hosting also the European Innovation Academy. So it's quite interesting that we have two similar events going on here at FEP, here at University of Porto, and this is a practical way for you to see that we are very committed to foster innovation, to help to transform an idea into business. And this is the most important thing. If you have an idea and you think you can bring that idea to a business, and the only way to do this nowadays is to put innovation in the center, to have some kind of innovative value proposition. And so for me, it's a pleasure and an honor having you here, helping you also to host and to develop this amazing conference. So thank you, Jill, for challenging me to host this. It is really a pleasure, and I hope that you will see also that this space is very useful for the kind of activities that you have. You can move around, you can move to the other spaces. We have some furniture in the sofas that you can discuss some ideas. We have some tables that you can also move around very easily. So I hope that the space also help fostering, that's what you are saying, sparkling and fostering innovation and helping you to attain your goals. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Nuno Moutinho, for presenting to us the FEP Innovation Hub. So now we move to our first keynote of the afternoon, titled A Vision for Entrepreneurship Education. So this keynote will explore how we can shape the future of entrepreneurship through innovative educational practices. And for that, we are going to welcome Luisa Martins, who will be attending online. So Luisa is a psychologist and a PhD in clinical psychology, teaches at undergraduate and graduate levels at Brook Rio de Janeiro Business School and Entrepreneurship at the Entrepreneurship Minor. She's a supervisor at the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, coordinates the Impact Entrepreneurship Program, and works as a business consultant in areas such as innovation, leadership, design thinking, entrepreneurship, family relations, and family business, mindfulness, and emotional intelligence. So Welcome, Luisa. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just 1 second.
Luisa, can you hear us? Yes. Yes, totally. I can't find any issue, so maybe it's actually better for you to try to jump out and then connect again. Let's see if that works. Okay? Does it say something like you need authorization or anything? Oh, maybe it's a definition for your computer. The authorizations in your computer. Yeah, you will probably need to jump out and then connect again. Oh, great. Yes. Okay, thank you. Não, não.
Só fiz mesmo ali na aplicação de som. No computador. Não.
Não, não, não vamos não. Tá muito. Luisa, you are.
It's working now. I'm just finding a screen here. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Okay. So as I said, we are a community college with non-profit higher education institution with focus on teaching, research, and extension. Our structure is we have 6 vice rectories, and I'm talking a little bit more about the vice rectory for innovation and development and the vice rectory for academic affairs, which are the two of them that are most present on entrepreneurship, education, and initiatives at our university. First, I'm going to start with the academic and educational strategies we have for developing entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs at our university. The Vice Rectory for Academic Affairs has a few central coordinations, and the CCG, which is the Central Coordination for Undergraduate Students. We have an initiative called Coordination for Teaching, for Entrepreneurship and Innovation Teaching. We started at the 90s. We have a huge employment issue in Brazil, and our university started a program for undergraduate students to prepare them to be entrepreneurs either inside other companies as entrepreneurs or starting their own company. Our program was, our mission was to prepare those entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs for developing products and services, creating value for customers and organizations. The disruptive initiative, it was really important because we had, not common, not usual in universities, we had a lot of departments on that program. So we were built with interdisciplinarity, and our students come from every department. We have students from engineering in the same classroom as students from psychology and communication, and our courses focus on entrepreneurship and innovation in the very diverse fields. So we have a few pillars, and we really want them to build startups, launch products, open up new business units, or if they don't want all that, they can develop their entrepreneurial mindset and use it as workers in other companies. And our three pillars are, we want to develop people skills. We have courses with focus on developing social emotional competencies for entrepreneurship. We have a pillar for innovation with courses that focus on how to create value and exploit opportunities. And we have courses with focus on business and tools and market finance, business modeling, and etc. Just to show how interdisciplinary we are, we have teachers from every department, from communication department, law, business, psychology, design, and engineering, teaching in our courses, and we usually get them to interact and exchange and be complementary on what they do in the classroom. A little bit of history. As I said, we began in the 90s, but since 2009, our program has increased the amount of students doing our courses, and most of our students are from the engineering department because the program was created on that department, and students see a lot of value, and they actually see our program as complementary to their original major. We actually are a certificated minor, and our structure is students are, if they want to complete the minor, they have to complete 20 credits divided by entrepreneurial attitude and behavior, which is 4 credits, 1 planning course, 8 credits from other disciplines we have, and final project. Completing that, they have a certificated minor, and they are able to request by the end of their major graduation. Just as an example, to show you our courses and what we do, we have courses in marketing, law for entrepreneurs, cultural enterprise planning, social enterprise planning, international entrepreneurship, quality on business management, design thinking, and local development, sustainability, opportunity creation, blockchain, entrepreneurial mindset, communication strategy, life projects, and everything we do is on those three pillars, and the colors of the courses, the disciplines, they say which is the main pillar of the courses. The blue is the business discipline, pink is innovation discipline courses, and the orange is the pillar of people skills. Just a little bit going further in our vice director for innovation and development, we have a few other central coordinations, and we have a few institutes that they work with projects and they develop innovation for the market. And ECOA is today the main actor for open innovation programs at PUC. And we want to foster open innovation and a co-creation process for the university and the partners. So we design and implement interdisciplinary open innovation programs that foster innovation and co-create across different contexts and leverage digital technology with transdisciplinary approaches to conducting R&D projects, positioning PUC as a leader in innovation. We want to nurture and enhance the ecosystem for entrepreneurship and developing competencies, linking dynamically different sectors of the economy. We have also applied research and development on those areas: blockchain and Web3, data science, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, Internet of Things, UX and UI mobility, metaverse, and virtual reality, other areas like energy, law, financial marketing, insurance, health, smart cities. And the innovation programs, which are programs with best practices to enhance people's experience in everyday life. We want to build with our undergraduate students and with companies developing new technologies that they can apply in their everyday business. Just as two examples, we have the App Developer Academy, Legalize, which is a law program, INVENTHEI with insurance companies. IDEA Global is a major company, a media company here in Brazil, Petrobras, which is oil and gas, and the future with decentralized blockchain technology to build innovation. It is a process of co-creation with leading companies. And we want to establish a systematic environment for ideation and experimentation that also helps develop some key competencies with our students that they can use not only if they want to create a venture, but also when they are in another company. Those technological innovation programs, we had 19 editions with 726 participants and more than 800 solutions developed by our students with the help of mentors. It is an immersive experience that fosters innovation. We focus on creating immediate value through innovation. And we work with challenge-based learning, with real-world problems, with intentional inspiration solutions for the business partners, stimulating critical thinking, creating valuable insights for our students and for the businesses. We cultivate a culture of innovation within the partner organization and within PUC-Rio also. And we want to develop talents that can make a difference. And their ideas, they are developed by the company. They become spin-offs for our students. They are developed as projects at ECOA. They join ECOLA, which is our venture building program at ECOA. And we help startups succeed by finding the best opportunities and talents from the ECOA PUC-Rio ecosystem and supporting them by creating products and problem solution fits and raising funds. For example, Mimo was an app that was developed as at the ECOLA, which is an ECOA program, venture building program. And in 2024, we want to expand that program. We want to build new technological innovation programs with focus in avicultura is happening, and we want to develop innovation for the cultural businesses. We are working with ICT tracks, and we're working on training and acceleration integrated programs for scientific and technological innovation for the oil and gas industry. So we build innovation ecosystems. We strengthen innovation ecosystems to echo knowledge. We have a platform with a lot of classes that are open for everyone. If you want to log in and access everything, we show which everyone can access. It is a platform. And also at PUC-Rio, what we want to do is we have a lot of programs that they integrate with those main programs we have. So our lab, the robotics lab and the junior enterprise, they collaborate, they integrate those programs, and students they navigate through all those programs and they develop competencies that are entrepreneurial competencies. So our classes and our programs and our labs, they are working together for our entrepreneurship ecosystem. And now we are working on entering the postgraduate program, the graduate program, with a discipline with focus on deep tech ventures with the master's and PhD programs. So this is what we're doing now. I'm open to questions. If you want to ask something, anything for me, I'm glad to answer your question. Can you hear me?
Yes. Anyone has a question for Luisa? No?
I have a question.
Okay.
Yes, I have many questions for you. But one, which is not one of the first, but I was really curious because you had one slide there where you said what happens to the ideas. And then you have there I think it was three options. How do you manage this in terms of the IP? Because you said in one case it's further developed by the companies, in another case it's a spin-off, in another case it's something else. How do you manage the IP?
Perfect question. When we establish a contract with a company, the IP is a sentence there. So at the Apple Developer Academy, the IP is for students, so they can do anything with what they develop there. So it's not from Apple, it's from them. Other companies, Global, for instance, the IP is for the company. So everything students they create is protected by the company. So the students cannot do anything with that idea. They cannot spin off the idea and have a venture of themselves with that idea they do at the program. So it depends on each program. A few of them, they have the idea is for the company that contracted us, and at other programs, the IP is for students or even relationship with the students and the university with PUC-Rio.
Okay.
So everything students do at Apple Developer Academy, a few companies, a few ventures came out from there because they can do whatever they want with their ideas, with what they develop there, for instance.
Yes, we have another question.
Yeah. Hello, Luisa. It's Pedro Coelho. We met in October already. I was just wondering if your work, I think, over. If you are working with this program, so the social innovation with Osinga, and if what you just mentioned is also includes the social projects from Osinga.
We also participate in a major FAPEG, which is foundation here in Rio de Janeiro. They have now a funding to, it was a pilot, it was a first initiative at Favela Rio here in Rio de Janeiro. They have an innovation park there. And with the university close to Rafinha, we integrated knowledge, research, extension to develop the community. And with the entrepreneurship ecosystem at our government, we want to potentialize the innovation capabilities of the community. This was the first initiative, and what they want is to expand to other communities, and you participate in that too, because as I said, we have to work together, project, extension, students, research. We have UNIR, which is a research project at Rafinha with that funding from the government, and we want to have, we want to know if what we're doing there is actually creating value for the community. So, and we have a project from teachers to strengthen the entrepreneurial initiative at Rafinha. So this is a major project which is very interesting, that integrates research, extension, and the community.
Thank you, Luisa. Anyone has a question?
Yes, I have another long question, but you go first, Kaido. You go first.
Hello, Luisa. I am Kaido from Estonia. Nice to meet you. I have a question regarding this term intrapreneurship. It's quite an interesting term, and I understand that basically these teachers, academia, they have also possibility to generate ideas and follow the program you are offering. Yes. So how popular it is, and how much effort you must put, let's say, inside of the university to get, let's say, the teachers of academia to work out the ideas and develop them. Is it easy working process, or it's like a hard effort that you should do?
Actually, it's really hard to, because I think it's in entrepreneurship. There is no straight line to venture building. So we have a number which is like from 5 to 10% of our students actually will open their own businesses. But even doing so, we cannot predict when they're building their companies. Some of the students, they use the university as they are undergraduate students or graduate students, and use our ecosystem to create their ventures as they are at the university. But at some point, and most of our students, they go out of the university, they go into the market, and they use their skills, their competencies a few years later. So there are two things that actually are challenges for us, which is, first, how our program actually helps students build their ventures or being an entrepreneurs. We know they are valued in the market. So as they do their interviews, employers actually see value on what they're doing as they are in our entrepreneurship minor. We know that. That's a fact. We know that a few students can use our ecosystem to build their venture as they are undergraduate and graduate students. But what we cannot track, and is a challenge, is what about those that go out of the ecosystem and then they build their ventures, and how are the competencies they developed at our university? How were they important for the students, even if they went out of the ecosystem? Some of them, they come back and they say doing the minor and participating in the ecosystem was important, but we don't have a way to actually build that connection between venture building after they left the ecosystem. And as they are graduate and undergraduate students, we're always making that question: how can we increase our impact for students that want to create their ventures? So are we doing everything we can? I think we have a few paths for them, but at some point, the tracks are so diverse that it's difficult to build a straight line from classes to programs, initiatives, projects, and venture building. But I think it's all about the ecosystem. So we have an incubator. Students know that they can strengthen their ventures at the incubator. They have the courses, which most of the time, the courses, they sensibilize the students. Some of them just work in the labs, like engineering labs, competition labs, and then they go to the junior enterprise, and then they go to the open innovation program. And that as a whole just helps them develop competencies and build their ventures. But there's no straight line. So this is a hard question to answer. It's an excellent question. That's why we're talking more about developing the ecosystems and making the possibilities come forward, and help students understand what they can do if they want to build their ventures. I don't know if I answered your question. I'm sorry if I didn't.
Luisa, I have another question, and this one is a little bit more from the beginning. So you spoke a little bit about the different activities that you have implemented. Can you explain a little bit how you relate this between the different levels of studies? So things that you have for bachelor's, for master's, do you make any distinction there? And another thing is related with one of the graphics. You show there some numbers. And I believe that in one of the last years, it was like 1,200 students involved. How can you scale to this level of to this number?
Okay, so another challenge of universities that most connections are built from people to people, and when people change, we have to establish a process that that goes beyond people. So this is also a challenge. So now we have connection between people and between labs and between today my coordination, which began as an undergraduate program for our students, because in the 90s we had a major unemployment issue, and we wanted our students to be able to have a different perspective, that employers would see them as different, as with a differential. And if they didn't want to be employed in those companies, that they had the possibility to create their own ventures. So this is how it began. So it was 3 courses only, and around 50 students during the program. So during the years, we strengthened those courses. At some point, we had we started opening different courses with different disciplines and different topics, which were, as we are a minor and we have less constraints as for government rules like undergraduate programs have, so we can launch new courses and adapt really quickly. So we started creating a few disciplines, a few courses that were trending. So students knew, they noticed that they could have the traditional courses and a different methodology at the entrepreneurship program. And we started communicating better, which was something we didn't do well. So we were constrained at the department of origin of our teachers. So we started communicating to other departments what we could do. So we have students from theology in our courses now, and they see value on what we do. We have students from all kinds. We have like students from scenic arts, which is a new department, and we have a mandatory course there, which is cultural enterprise planning. So we started communicating better. Students knew, I don't know if my connection is slow, if you can hear me, image just slowed down here. We started communicating better, and we started creating new courses. We forced that growth. And what we saw is our students knew what we were doing, and they talked to other students. If you see on that graph, you see a decrease right after the pandemic, because our courses are experiential. They are hands-on. And we lost a lot of our methodology and the value perceived in our courses with the online courses. Students, we use that relation between students. Students, they create a network, and that was not something that could be well done at the pandemic, mainly because they were, I don't know if you know the term, but it's, they got tired of Zoom conferences, and they didn't want to connect from there anymore. They wanted to go to the real world. So we had a big decrease in 2021 and 2022. So we had to catch from there. And we have a few mandatory courses now at the engineering courses, for example. So our students from all the engineering programs, undergraduate programs, they have to do 3 disciplines. The first one is communication and teamwork. The second one is opportunity creation. And the third one is entrepreneurial mindset. So talking and integrating with the departments and seeing how we can create value for the department as concepts, as competencies, was something that helped us grow. It was also a strategy. We have a few mandatory courses, introductory courses in different departments. At some point, people asked us if we wanted to be an undergraduate program and a department. And I think that will be an issue because we will lose that connection between departments. Now we navigate them. If we establish, and if we are established department with an undergraduate program, we get constrained in that department. So with being and what a rector and a previous rector called us UFO, as we are above and navigating, we are unidentified flying objects. So being an unidentified flying object help us build connection with the different departments and different areas of the university, which is not all good, because we know that in a research university, professors that publish, they are really having a graduate program is really viewed as something of value. It's what universities are evaluated for. So at some point we must show what we can contribute to the university. We have to have this really clear. Okay.
Thank you, Luisa. Anyone else has a question? No? Thank you very much, Luisa, for this inspiring session. So now we go to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa. Next time we hope you can join us here.
This will be perfect.
So now we go to the difficult part, the coffee break. So we'll have a short coffee break. We're actually ahead of schedule, so maybe we go and meet again at 3:45. Would that be? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. See you in a bit. Yeah, but oh, okay. During the coffee break, take a break here. Okay. Okay, we're going to start again. No problem. Okay, everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the coffee break. So now our next session will be an action thing titled Navigating the Academic Innovation and Entrepreneurship Journey. So this will be an interactive session where we will dive into the daily academic activities of innovation and entrepreneurship programs and how to effectively navigate them. So for this session, we're going to welcome our moderator, Professor Gil Gonçalves, who will start the session by providing a keynote on the topic and then delve into the topic with you and with a panel composed by three fantastic women. So, Professor Gil, please.
Thank you. So just as a warm-up exercise for the panel and for the action tank, where we will be picking your brain in trying to understand what is this academic E&I journey, how does it work? We have three invited speakers that will join me in a minute. But before that, I would like to explain you a little bit the vision that we have in INVENTHEI and in Deep INVENTHEI. But before that, and this is for the ones that didn't join the morning, I would ask you to take this QR code. This will take you to a page where you can update your profile. And the idea is that in the end, we will have a collection of all the participants in the conference. This will be visible as well to all the participants, so you can identify people that you would like to meet and that you would like to know a little bit better. Okay, so I don't mind that you do this while I'm presenting, so you can go ahead and start creating your profile. It's a kind of 2 or 3 clicks. Just select it, you put your name, short description, upload a picture, and that's it. Okay? So if you want, I can stay a little more for you to catch the QR code. Okay. And now, it's okay? No? Okay. Okay. And you will see that there are already a few profiles there. We did it in the morning as part of our heavy work during the meeting. And this is one way for everybody to know who is involved. So we will also ask our colleagues that will join tomorrow morning to create their own profiles. And then going back to the vision, and why do we want to understand how to navigate this academic innovation and entrepreneurship journey? So we started INVENTHEI and Deep INVENTHEI with this vision to create and to educate young innovators, young entrepreneurs that would be part of our local ecosystems and would make those local ecosystems valuable. Not only because they would be able to create their own ventures, but because their capabilities, their knowledge would be attracting new companies to co-locate in our region. So it's not only about creating new companies, but it's also by developing the talent that will attract knowledge-based companies into our local ecosystem. That's the vision we started with. And this has been supported by the EITA initiative. As you know, we are part of this bigger initiative where we are two, so INVENTHEI and Deep INVENTHEI are two projects amongst 65. And looking at the final event that took place in Brussels in the beginning of June, this has reached more than 40,000 students and academic staff and non-academic staff, which is a huge impact. And we can be proud that we have contributed to this in a significant way, because if you remember from the KPIs that we saw earlier this morning, in Deep INVENTHEI, we are talking about 12 or 1300 students. So it's already significant. If we add up the staff, the non-academic staff, and also the numbers that we had from the previous project, then our contribution to this 40,000 is relevant. And this is just to give you an idea of what we did. So we started this journey in 2021, in June 2021, that's when the first project started, INVENTHEI. We started to implement some activities to experiment how these activities could be developed and deployed in the different partners, learning from this, understanding how this could be scaled and how could we improve the impact. And in last year, but more or less this time, we started the new project. We started Deep INVENTHEI, so that will be ending at the end of the month. So this is a 3 years journey. And during these 3 years, we've learned a lot. We understand a little bit better how this academic E&I journey takes place. And that's what we would like to discuss this afternoon, to understand from different perspectives. Because when we look at an higher education institution to a university, we have different actors there. We have the students, which are the most important ones, but we have other actors as well. And for this academic journey to work, every actor needs to understand how we can contribute and how we can benefit. So I'm going to skip this one because we know the consortium already, but we've been doing different experiments. We've been sharing knowledge amongst ourselves, trying to understand how learning and mentoring could work, how research-based learning could be implemented, and how collaboration and internships could be a part of this journey, how could have an impact in this journey. We've experimented different things. We were discussing earlier today about the different activities. We need to report those activities. And I only have here a couple of examples. One from the colleagues from Pardubica, this startup your business in the learning and mentoring. Then in the research-based learning from our colleagues from Santiago de Compostela, the Senior Innovation Lab, and from the University of Porto, this UP InTech on collaboration and internship. These are only a couple of examples, well, not a couple, but 3 examples of the different activities that we implemented in the different areas, and from which we were able to learn and to understand how this journey can be set up, how we can build this journey. But it's also important that we live this as something which can be taken by our organizations. So we were involved as individuals, coming from different universities or different services inside our universities. And we need to make sure that somehow this is taken by the university and has an impact in the culture. One of the ideas that we've been discussing is this manifesto for innovation and entrepreneurship, which is a set of good ideas that we can put together in the document. But in order to make this something that changes the culture inside the university, we have to take one step further. And this is what we will try to do with the project, by defining a learning journey for innovation and entrepreneurship that can be shared, that we can give as an handbook by other colleagues that can take that handbook and implement it. It's a way that it's not just the achievements of the project, because if we look at the achievements of the project, we see that we have, well, you can see there, over 5,000 people, students, academic and non-academic staff. You remember the numbers from the A initiative? It's over 40,000, and we have over 5,000, right? That's a good number. Of 47 startups and scale-ups that we involved in the activity, which is also a very good number. So in terms of the achievements of the project, we can be proud of ourselves. But if after the 31st of July, we just close up our books and everything remains as it was, then we are not successful. So it's important that we build the road ahead. So we prepared it for the next steps. And this academic E&I journey is an important step. If we can define this, if we can live this as a guidebook, an handbook that can be used by others, then this is the most important contribution of the project. And then to discuss this, we are going to have a little panel with some topics, and then we go to the activities.
Yes. So now I'm going to present each one of our panelists. So our first panelist is Brits Peterjak, the head of the Center for Humanities and Economies at TTK University of Applied Sciences, where she also teaches management and leadership courses for engineering students. With a Master of Arts in Educational Leadership, her expertise includes higher education pedagogy and policies, lifelong learning, learning psychology, and leadership. She has participated in several international projects focused on training and assessing core skills in real-life contexts. She firmly believes that organizing international intensive project weeks enhances students' problem-solving, critical thinking, and creativity skills by engaging them in real-life company challenges. Learning through practical experience and agile methods not only develops the mentioned value competencies in job market, but also teaches self-management and teamwork skills while providing valuable international learning and cultural experiences. Since 2021, she has been contributing to INVENTHEI initiatives. So please, Britt, come to Our second finalist is Dina Mostaf. Dina is front-end developer and web design based in Sweden. She studied web development and design at Jönköping University. She's passionate about creating intuitive, user-centered designs. Dina also runs her own business, offering professional development and design services to help clients bring their digital vision to life. Dina, please. And last but not least, we have Magdalena Rostes. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Okay, sorry. A PhD student at Faculty of Chemical Organic Technology and Petrochemistry at the Salesian University of Technology. She's conducting research on sustainable phase change materials for thermal energy storage. Magdalena completed an internship at Monash University in Australia, and her work has been recognized at various international conferences where she has received awards for her research and presentations. Additionally, she took second place in the SUIT Innovative Day competition, which is part of the Deep INVENTHEI project. Please, Magdalena. Thank you.
So now we have the panel, and as you can see, we have here the different perspectives. So we have the faculty member, so brings in this idea of the people, the persons that teach, the actor that is responsible for setting up the context for the learning process and deals with the students. We have Dina, which is a student that created her own business and started to be an entrepreneur while at university. And Magdalena, which doing her PhD, she's not only learning, but she's also a researcher. So we have here the different perspectives, the teacher, the student, and the researcher, which are the different actors that we can find inside our universities. And I will start, and now I have to look into my... Unfortunately, I don't have notes like Clara. I will have to look into my phone because I have some questions for our panelists. So starting with Brit, and we saw from your introduction that you are very much involved in innovation and entrepreneurship education. So this is the area that you've been working on. So how do you define innovation and entrepreneurship in academia? And why is this important nowadays to have it as a competence for our students?
First of all, thank you for the thorough introduction. Very much has been said and discussed today already related to the innovation and entrepreneurship in academia. And maybe I try to elaborate on some aspects from my point of view and based on my experience in higher education. So given the basics of innovation, which means creating new ideas, services, products, solutions to existing problems in a novel way, then we have to ask what is the challenge in higher education, what are the problems. And I pretty much agree to what has been said, that living in the digital age or era of AI, the first task of a higher education is not anymore transmitting new information or knowledge, because the information is largely for free. So I also agree on that the innovation, the educational innovation, would be creating these ecosystems supported by the holistic approach, where spaces like these are created, where different people come together, students, researchers, industry professionals, and okay, that is a way that something new or growth or innovation can take place. And collaborative spaces, hubs, labs, centers, whatever, are really important. But to my mind, even more important is the mentoring and the phase where this was what has just happened, or the new solution has been created, has been analyzed, and the feedback from the side of experts or industry professionals. Because to my experience, sometimes why updating curriculum, for example, we are talking about entrepreneurial mindset, which is crucial when we talk about innovation. But the programs, degree programs, they are usually limited with ECTS, amount of ECTS. And while talking about teaching course by course, like creativity course, or teamwork course, or financial literacy, or AI, or IT, green transition, it is all in all too much. But the approach, the holistic approach, I believe in some cases, and when I talk about my experience, is for educators still a bit too far away. And what we do, we just start cutting off some skills like entrepreneurial skills and replacing them, for example, with AI skills, which is not, I think, the best course solution. Because if I may say so, that the winners, when you're talking about tomorrow's innovators, are not those with the best amount of fact-based knowledge, but those who can manage this information, processes, and people. Like we heard today morning from the keynote, people skills are crucial, and these must be emphasized. And what's the good point for universities is, of course, that it's worth every effort, and universities which promote and deal with innovation and entrepreneurship in academia, they are more attractive for best researchers, they are more attractive for students, and they are internationally also more successful. So in that sense, I think it benefits to all target groups, students, researchers, and the whole community to deal with those issues.
Thank you, Britt. So it's an issue which is not only important for our students, but also for us, for our institutions, for our survival.
That this is the mindset what enables the change, because everything is about understanding why this shift is important. If we don't understand as faculty members, as teachers, so exactly, it is really easy to say that let's, I don't know, implement new methods, or let's teach interdisciplinary. But if the teacher training is missing, if professors, faculty members, they do not understand why this is important, so nothing will happen.
Mm-hmm.
We are still talking about it, but in practice, they will come.
Because it's always a matter of choices
Yes.
that need to be made, right?
Yes.
And what are we including in the curricula, or what activities are we making available to the students as extracurricular activities?
Yes. And all in all, it needs really strong leadership, educational leadership, and understanding what is learning, how it happens, what promotes it, and what kills it.
So this, and I thank you very much for this comprehensive answer, because this gives a good common understanding of what is and what is the importance of innovation and entrepreneurship in academia. So moving on to Dina, and considering that you were a student, you were specializing in web design, and then you decided to become an entrepreneur. What were the main, the main motives, or what was the motivation that pushed you to this, and what were the challenges that you faced? What were the things that you missed, that you thought that, well, I don't know how to do it, or I was not prepared for this?
Yeah, so I will give a little bit backstory first. I studied I have a bachelor degree in business administration in Cairo University, where I was first introduced to the concept of entrepreneurship. But in the same time, I got a very huge passion about tech and tech industry. So I decided to shift my career and move to Sweden and do another bachelor degree in web design and development. And our program also had like a very much focus on entrepreneurship and project management, which also gave me a lot of like skills of how to manage projects of your own or in a company. And by the time that second year, I was doing my internship, and by the time the internship was over, I felt that I have enough skills to contribute to the industry and be out there in the market. And I didn't want to wait until I graduate, like go with the regular sequence of like waiting till I want to graduate, find a job, and like do the regular traditional route. So I decided to take the initiative and like open my own web development and design studio. And it's not a studio as in studio, but I like to call it that. And I develop websites like mainly front end, and I try to focus so much on accessibility while developing the websites. And one of the challenges that faced me, or maybe first start with the things that support my journey, was being in Jönköping is a very entrepreneurial city, I would say. There's a lot of, the environment around me really motivated me to start like my business. It's not that it was, there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the region. We have something called Science Park, which is an institution connected to the university, and also like a standalone institution that help entrepreneurs for free, especially for students. And the university also put a lot of emphasis on entrepreneurship, which really motivated me and pushed me to start my own business and like take the entrepreneurial step. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have there two phases in your academic life. So you started in business, then you moved to the tech area. You decided to become an entrepreneur because you have this business side, or is it the context in which you were? You said that Jönköping is very entrepreneurial. Was that the main reason why you decided to become an entrepreneur and create your own studio, or was it something that you already had before you went to Jönköping?
Before I went to Jönköping, it was I had the knowledge about what is entrepreneurship. It was like kind of like the foundation of my understanding of entrepreneurship. But back then, I didn't think of starting my own business. But when I moved to Jönköping, I feel like the environment and really helped me to like plan the idea in my head of why to wait, why to go to the traditional route when I feel like I'm skilled enough to start now, so why not to wait? Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just a question of being exposed to the knowledge because you were exposed to the knowledge before. It's also a question of the environment that gave you the main reason and helped that idea to come to life. Good. So this gives a good impression on what are the motivations. But what about the early challenges? What were the challenges that you faced when you decided to become an entrepreneur?
The thing is that I'm from Egypt, so I decided to do this in Sweden, where I don't have like family or like deep-rooted friendships in Sweden. So it was like also it's Egypt and Sweden is so different when it comes to paperwork and how to start your business and things like this. So this was also a challenge of like knowing where to start. I don't know what to do, everything in Swedish. So this was like a big challenge for me. But a lot of like Science Park supported me in this aspect of like helping me having sessions about like how to conduct your own business for internationals, how to navigate, how to like, for example, how to pay the taxes, how to have like communicate with the tax office, how to communicate with the migration office, how to make this communications. Because like, of course, entrepreneurship have like a very nice part of it, but it's also have like kind of like a darker side of like things that you have to do, bureaucratic things. Even though I can say that the process was hard, because also it's more so digitalized in Sweden, so it wasn't as complicated as I thought. But the main challenges for me was like the language, and being like an immigrant woman living in a different country, as I mentioned, don't have friends, family, anything, no support system basically. Starting from scratch, this was a challenge.
And then having this fallback in the science part and the support that they gave you was important. Good. And now moving to you, Magdalena. As a PhD student, assuming that you would like to become also an entrepreneur, or that you would like to innovate somehow, did you find something in place during your studies, or did you miss something during your studies that could support you in this idea?
On my step, for my studies, the most beneficial comes from my supervisor and the network of experts. So their knowledge and experience give me an opportunity to start my research career and shaping my research career. So this is a first step of my road. And I need to think about collaboration and about turn my idea into higher level, into more advanced level. And I participate in internship and in some project with company and research project. So I did an internship. I did internship at Monash University in Australia, and it was great experience. And also I participate in Eureka Pro project. This is a consortium connect some European university to deal with sustainable goals like clean energy and sustainable production methods. So access to advanced technologies and modern equipment and new, sometimes completely different approach. It's crucial it's essential of my work, and I can transfer this experience into my work, and I can develop my idea. And I think that we need to gather knowledge and also practical skills. So participating, for example, in Youth Innovative Day, the competition at my university was perfect opportunity to present the result of my research. I really like to share my work with each other. So it's not that simple to explain sometimes difficult topic in understandable way. So I practiced my presentation skill, and the panel of experts gave me a really beneficial advice and feedback. So I can grow and I can improve my idea. And I'm really happy to win the second prize during this competition. And I think that this is the perfect example of support. And also the workshop on intellectual property protection, also part of Deep INVENTHEI project, was crucial. And it helped me to better understand patent law and how important is protect our innovation, which is sometimes look out earlier in our career. So this event, this part of support, it's really crucial and support creativity, passion, and also it's good environment for transform our research idea into a real practical application.
And it's interesting what you said. There were several support activities that you identified, which are in fact important, but you also mentioned something which I think is very relevant.
when we are talking about innovation in deep tech. So innovation in deep tech requires access to infrastructure, laboratories, which are usually expensive. So doing this inside the university where you have access to this is also an advantage. So if you want to do, it's not only research, but if you want to innovate in this area, then having this access to the infrastructure, I think it's also crucial. So we saw different things about the motivation, the challenges, the support mechanisms, and we already have an idea of what is the importance of innovation and entrepreneurship in universities. But thinking about the education, how can we create or cultivate this entrepreneurial mindset in the students? From your experience, Rich, what are the approaches, thinking about the pedagogical approaches, how do you think we can implement this? How can we better foster this mindset in the students? And then not only in the students, but also in our college.
Definitely. Well, me and my colleague Guido, we come from the University of Applied Sciences. Practical studies and hands-on studies has been always part of our engineering study programs. Now, when talking about cultivating the entrepreneurial mindset and doing it more or less in a systematic way, then I think we have a long way to go. And I appreciate this network because this is a good experience and opportunity to learn from other colleagues and from other practices, because we some of us move faster and some of us need more time. Well, in the context of this Deep INVENTHEI project, I would bring, because in our case, the study programs are in different stages. And maybe in the context of Deep INVENTHEI, I would bring the example robotics, which has some degree courses integrated into the degree program, promoting entrepreneurial mindset, innovation, and entrepreneurship. In the context of the project, the students of the programs, they had the chance also to be trained in the digital twins, to work on some really new knowledge and put it into some extent also into practice. Then the students of robotics, they had this spring opportunity to participate in the Robo Sprint, what to my mind was a successful experience in that sense, that we brainstormed ideas together with people from social work, how to create new solutions, digital solutions for elderly people with some physical problems to handle better the everyday life. And we brought together different, this event was facilitated by the faculty members from different departments, and we built teams from students, company representatives, also policymakers from the local and governance side. I think this is again one of these examples when doing absolutely something different, what is the usual approach while studying at the university, that this horizon will come bigger and you see some more solutions. And if I should say only one thing or one method, then to my experience for what we have now tested for 3+ years is the sprint model itself. The original 5 days sprint model from changed not from brainstorming until the prototyping, that we have used it in different kinds, in different formats, like created intensive project weeks, local and international ones, where students get the company problem, they, if possible, visit the company and they started the process. But we also modified the model to include outside partners onto 2 days model, because it's difficult to imagine that company representatives will come for a week and brainstorm with students. But using the design thinking components, it's possible also to do some kind of super sprints or things like, or so, modify the version. So I think it's worth to try, and also what maybe you have already practiced, but to separate the focuses and develop the degree courses on sprint models. Like the first model is company visit, the second model is brainstorming or research part, and then the last one is the prototyping. So I think this would be the
new ways to create this entrepreneurial mindset. One thing that I also retained from what you said is that opening up to the outside, bringing in external partners to be involved is one way also to foster.
Absolutely agree. Because one thing I want to mention is that the average age of students entering higher education is rising. This differs country to country, but this is the trend. And because of the lifelong learning and because of the career change, and by using different kind of methods, cultivating entrepreneurial mindset or hard skills or soft skills, whatever, we also always have to keep in mind that there are so many different people with different ages, with different backgrounds, working experiences, learning experience, that they all want to get something valuable and something practical, and it's not always to be seen as a challenge. I think it's an opportunity, as it comes to the methods.
Yeah, diversity is always good.
Yes.
So important. Nina, going back to you, and we already discussed about challenges that you faced when you decided to become an entrepreneur, and how the science part helped you with some training and some advice. But considering that you are an entrepreneur, founder of a startup, and at the same time you were a student,
Yeah.
right? Are there any barriers to this? Is it something which is, can you do it both things simultaneously, or you tend to be drawn into one direction or to the other? Or is it something that you can?
I think it differs from person to person.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, because was my second bachelor degree, so I did it because I chose to do it, not because of any other reason. So I decided to give it all, like 100%. And in the same time, I also chose to do my business. So I decided to give my 100%. So I would say the challenging part is no work-life balance, or like the well-being of like having vacations or weekends or this kind of things are the part that gets affected. But the thing is that I didn't want to compromise my education. In the same time, I had real clients, and I cannot tell them, I'm sorry, I have like an exam or an assignment. They don't really care about this. So.
And I'm sure your professors feel the same way. You have an exam, so but you have a
Exactly,
deadline.
that's what it is. So I think doing like starting a business while studying, the person should have like be mentally prepared to give up some free time, giving some like part of like the well-being, luxurious time to work on such things because most of them require 100% of the time, 100% focus.
Mhm.
But of course, it depends from time to time. Like sometimes it's more intense in work, so I'm more drawn into that part, and I'm compromise a little bit into my studies. And the other part, when I have, for example, exams, I can slow down my the work on my business and focus more on my.
So you don't find any barriers to being a student and
Yeah, of course. Like for example, the time, the resources as well. Because being a student, I didn't have like that much income because of being a student, and this, but at the same time as well, my kind of business didn't require a lot of capital to start. Didn't require any capital to start. So this was also like an advantage in my side that just my skills and the networking. So I would say it's more of like time management is the barrier of like how to avoid getting burnouts and such things. Yeah.
And more or less the same question to you, Margolena. As a researcher, PhD student, and also considering this possibility of developing your business, turning your thesis into a business, how do you balance this out? How do you manage?
A really tough question. And first of all, let me explain a little bit what my research looks like. So I design materials as sustainable phase change material for thermal energy storage. And now it's a little bit hot topic. So I need to synthesize this material and study thermal properties, and which involves so many laboratory experiments. I need to consider precursor of my materials. I need to think about biodegradation, utilization, and parameter process. So it's so many experiments, and I spend so much time in laboratory. But also, on the other hand, significant part of my work involves literature review. So I need to follow new publication, new idea, and make sure what has been already done. So this is also a time-consuming part of my work. Yeah, it's not that simple. Of course, I have some PhD duties like classes with students, and I participate in lecture. So balancing between PhD duties and laboratory work and the innovation activities is challenging. I need to collaborate, so it's also time consuming and require a time and effort. First of all, I try to describe my main goals, and I need to think which is the most important, most urgent, most time consuming and difficult, and I try to break it into smaller one. It's less overwhelming, and I can realize my work step by step. So I create something like a to-do list of my duties, and I try to avoid multitasking, preferring we focus on one task at a time. But sometimes it's impossible if we have so much work, so much experiments, bureaucracy also. I need to ask for help, and I have the pleasure to work in a huge team, so I can delegate some tasks and I can ask for help. So it's really crucial to work in a good organized team. And what I need to say, what I want to say, what is truly inspiring that working and academia is constant surprise. I don't know what's happened tomorrow, and it's so much new opportunity. For example, a new conferences. I can
meet a new people and start a new project. And it's really amazing, but also demanding. And so I need to be flexible, creative, and I think it's the key to stay at university and be creative, flexible, and yeah, collaborate. It's a crucial point. Good time management and be productive and efficient.
And collaboration. It's you mentioned collaboration already, and the network in your previous answer. So going back to you, Briggs, how do you see this issue of identifying new ways to collaborate between the different actors that we have, not only inside academia, where we have students, researchers, faculty members, and non-academic staff, but also this collaboration with industry, bringing industry inside our walls, involving them in the teaching and learning process, or sending our students outside for internships. How do you see this different strategies to foster this collaboration?
Well, the very short and easy answer would be just make more partnerships. But we all know that it's not that easy, and I would still come back to the issue with the staff training and mindset shifting that till there is not existing a common understanding why more partnership and why more collaboration with industries is important for the learning higher educational level. So the change will unfortunately not come. And I think it's also the thing with the leadership that until we just talk about this necessity or we act, we start acting. Talking about the problems, why it is so difficult, I think I can add here some thoughts, but I think it's at some extent that the businesses or professionals from industry, they do not see or they do not understand the benefits they would become or they would get from the universities. So I think the initiative should be on the side of the university to start this kind of conversations. But maybe if you have something.
It's my everyday job. Basically, it is so that that we know that basically there are two different worlds: academic world, and then this is let's say the industry world, and they are thinking different. And now the question is that where should this initiative come from? And I think that the initiative should come from us, let's say from academia part, that showing the things what will be beneficial for the companies, for the industry. The same what Britt mentioned about this involving them or engaging on these different activities. One of the things which is also I think you use is the guest lecture, so that you are bringing the industry experts to the let's say the studies, to the courses, show the let's say their approach. But what industry is asking for me is doing let's say the great presentation for the companies that university can be that's like a development partner for you. Then before I can reach on the third slide, then they are asking that show me what you have done. So and they show me what the answer to show me what you have done should be in the language of what industry understands, not so much academic language. So that again, sorry about Magdalena, because you are representing the PhD level, yes, and all of you have this level. But talking about the publication, whatever we done is, and we open the publications. it doesn't count as a publication, but you should convert it on the understandable language. So what is the result of that? And that is what let's say we as academia can do, so that we show what we have done, what we have researched, but on the understandable language. So that showing also the portfolio, what is available. The good term is this service design. So that I think that we should use the service design to design our approach to the industry. So I think, again, coming back to it, that these are the initiatives, but we should take, not wait when the industry is approaching to us. We have the skills anyhow available, as we should use it in the proper way. Thank you for engaging me in the panel.
Thank you for it. But all the others can contribute as well. So if you want to.
I think also that we should use universities, the alumni, that because they are like our arts, they are going to the industry, they are working there, they understand what we do because that's our method. So they are a very good contact point for us to establish this first contact and relationship. Afterwards, you get to know the company, you know people inside, and so on. But using the network of our alumni is quite powerful, in my opinion. And we do it all the time. It's our first thought is to find.
Who do we know there?
Yeah, that study that field, for instance. I mean, for instance, with Sheffield, we contacted Clara Frias and we asked Clara, we want to get in this consortium, and then Clara the rest of history. So that's the way to get to the industry. I think it's this is an easy way because it's a way that we know people there, we can contact them, take the phone and contact our alumni, and then the other things will come.
Can I just add something?
Yes, sure.
Sorry, just the floor is open.
Yeah, the floor is open. Feel free.
So on that, I think one of the key would be as well is whenever we have a research, we look at the bigger picture as well, the impact that we do. Because we focus so much on what we do small here, but having the idea of impact or not of impact, it doesn't mean you have to cover all the aspects of it. There's a link to it. So to allow that communication with the industry, say, okay, I'm this type here, but the goal is to be that. There's that goal present. So whenever we talk to the research, we say, I'm doing something here for that. So they can see, oh, that thing is not going to benefit me. So they can see that has the progress being done there, so they can maybe you can evolve there and just to learn things or to get engaged. So we can I think that's sometimes we present our research quite
Narrowly.
narrow,
Yeah.
rather than why it's important in that conversation.
And I think what you mentioned is also something relevant, because if you have this entrepreneurial mindset and if you have been exposed to some of these concepts, you understand that having a vision is very relevant. Sometimes it will take time to reach that vision, but you need to have a vision and you need to be able to communicate it. So you might be working on a very small thing, very specific, challenging, that takes a lot of research, a lot of lab work, but this is done to reach that vision there. And this is what we have to communicate to industry in order to be able to engage them, and they understand why we need to do that much research. And I think that's one of the important things as well. So before we move on to the next thing, and I'm going to pick up on what Cairo said about the service design, which thank you very much, because you just opened the road for me. I would like to give a big thanks and a big applause to our members of the panel, which will not leave, they will stay there, but thank you very much for your contributions, for letting us understand a little bit better from your experience and different experiences, how this academic journey in innovation and entrepreneurship can be challenging and how we can improve it.
So, sorry, can I make a comment on the panel?
Yes.
Coming from there. Almost topic, you know. Actually, it was quite, it's more comment on the question. Like we saw that as, so we need to change the mindset of all. Possibly, in the academic industry, the staff, and also and then the institution. We can see that actually, when you have that line of support, things can happen. You can create those opportunities, and then you can be as well. So expose the students to new technology. Technology they can expose the students to how it's near the right. So the university to understand that actually that combination of having the mindset right, but also create those supporting. And you can have in-house or outside, still very relevant for the use of knowledge.
And once you start it, it's something that feeds itself, right?
Yeah.
The question is, how do we start it? So what's the ignition? What is the, where do we press the key, right? After it starts, I think it feeds itself and it grows. So service design, and I have to thank Joanna because I also took advantage of some of her skills, or many of her skills, but one of those skills was related with this idea of the service design. And one of the things that we did was looking at the different things that we were doing in this project and trying to understand how we could map this into a kind of customer journey, which comes from service design as well. And we got this. So what we did was looking at the different activities and try to map them into a journey. From the perspective of the student, what were the activities that we implemented in INVENTHEI or Deep INVENTHEI that could help the student to develop this entrepreneurial mindset and to not only to become an entrepreneur, but to become an actor of change and someone that will have an impact in the future. And the same thing from the researcher's perspective. What were the activities that we were implementing that were contributing to this? And the same thing for the academic staff. How can we not only contribute to create this entrepreneurial spirit, but also how can we benefit from this? And how can we change the mindset of the university? So what we have is 3 different journeys, and they are there in the tables. And the idea now is that we, well, self-organize ourselves. We can do that. We are around 30 people, and we are going to be split in 3 groups and looking at one of these journeys. We identified some activities there, and what we are asking you is to discuss, to look at it and see, does it make sense? Should we change it? Is something missing? Feel free to put there your thoughts, to write it down, to strike over what's there and replace it. There are pens, post-its, so be creative and discuss. And I'm going to ask the colleagues from the panel to be there as kind of moderators. So you should select your journey, the researcher, the student, the academia, and be there, try to moderate the discussion, but then let the others do the work. It's there, you did already your part, now it's their time to do the work. And we will do this, we won't have time to go through. The idea would be that each one of us would go to one of those journeys, but we will not have time for that. So what I would suggest is that we take about 20 minutes in the first one, and then you move to another one. And then we take like 10, 15 minutes there, and then we see if we have time for the third one or not. Okay? So, let's get to work.